Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Bhakti Vedanta Purports ki, ISKCON Founder Church of Prabhupada ki, Sri Nishinadev Chaturthi Mahotsav ki, Gaura Premanandi, all glories to the Sumo devotees, all glories to the Sumo devotees, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. To speak to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. we know this week Sunday we're celebrating the appearance day of this wonderful incarnation of the Supreme Person of Godhead, Narasimhadev. So today we'll just do a little preamble to enlighten you more on the subject of the science of God. This is adapted from the 7th canto Bhagavatam, but also in the 1st canto. I'm going to read from the 1st canto. Also, it's dealing with the Krishna is the source of all incarnations. This chapter is called, and we're doing it's called the Emperor verse. You know the Emperor verse? Text 28. 1st canto, chapter 3, text 28. Everybody can repeat after me. Ete cha amsa kala pumsa Krishna tu Bhagavan Swayam Indrihari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. So the verse goes like this. Ete chamsa kala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. Anybody want to repeat? Ete chamsa kala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vyakulam Lokam Mridayanti Yuge Yuge. We do the word for word together. Ete, all these, cha, and, amsa, plenary portions, kala, portions of the plenary portions, pumsa, of the Supreme Krishna, Lord Krishna, to but Bhagavan, personality of Godhead, Swayam, in person, Indriyari, the enemies of Indra, Vyakulam, disturbed, Lokam, all the planets, Medayanti, gives protection, Yuge, in different ages. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Sri Prabhupada Ki. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists. Purport. In this particular stanza, Lord Sri Krishna, the person of Godhead, is distinguished from other incarnations. He is counted amongst the avatars or incarnations because out of the causeless mercy of the Lord descends from the transcendental abode. Avatar means one who descends. All the incarnations of the Lord, including the Lord Himself, descend on the different planets of the material world, as also in different species of life, to fulfill particular missions. Sometimes He comes Himself, and sometimes He is different plenary portions or parts of His plenary portions, or His different plenary portions, or His differentiated portion, directly or indirectly, empowered by Him, descend on this material world to execute certain specific functions. Originally, the Lord is full of all opulences, all prowess, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation. When they are partly manifested through the plenary portions or parts of the plenary portion, it should be noted that certain manifestations of His different powers are required for those particular functions. When in the room, this analogy given to, when in the room small electric bulbs are displayed, it does not mean that the electric powers is limited to the small bulbs. The same powers can supply power to operate large-scale industrial dynamos with greater volts. Similarly, the incarnations of the Lord display limited powers because so much power is needed at that particular time. Very nice analysis, isn't it? For example, Lord Parashuram and Lord Nrsimha displayed unusual opulence by killing the disobedient Kshatriyas 21 times and killing the greatly powerful atheist Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that even the demigods in other planets would tremble simply by the unfavorable raising of his eyebrows. The demigods in the higher level of material existence many times excel the most well-to-do human beings in duration of life, beauty, wealth, paraphernalia, and in all other aspects. Still, they were afraid of Hiranyakashipu. Thus, we can simply imagine how powerful Hiranyakashipu was in the material world. But even Hiranyakashipu was cut into small pieces by the nails of Nrsimha. This means that anyone materially powerful cannot stand the strength of the Lord's nails. Similarly, Jamadagnya displayed the Lord's power to kill all the disobedient kings powerfully situated in the respective states. His empowered incarnation, Narad, and plenary incarnation, Varaha, as well as indirectly empowered Lord Buddha, created faith in the mass of people. The incarnations of Ram and Dhanvantari displayed his fame, and Balaram, Mohini, and Vamana exhibited his beauty. Dattatreya, Matsya, Kumara, and Kapila exhibited his transcendental knowledge. Nara and Narayan Rishis exhibited his renunciation. So all the different incarnations of the Lord, indirectly or directly, manifested different features. But Lord Krishna, the primeval Lord, exhibited the complete features of Godhead, and thus it is confirmed that He is the source of all other incarnations. And the most extraordinary feature exhibited by Lord Sri Krishna was his internal energetic manifestation of his pastimes with the cowherd girls. His pastimes with the gopis are all displays of transcendental existence, bliss and knowledge. Although these are manifested apparently as sex love, the specific attraction of his pastimes with the gopis should never be misunderstood. The Bhagavatam relates these transcendental pastimes in the 10th canto. And in order to reach the position to understand the transcendental nature of Lord Krishna's pastimes with the gopis, the Bhagavatam promotes the student gradually in 900 cantos. This is very, very important that we're reading Bhagavatam. Very important to read from the first canto and then gradually gravitate to the first canto is the grounding, like this I'm reading from the first canto. This is like represent the Lord's lotus feet. Actually the whole 12 cantos represent the Lord's body. The first canto is lotus feet and gradually going up to the 10th canto is smiling face, isn't it? Like that. So gradually we should get a good understanding of this before we run. Generally people want to read the 10th canto because of its esoteric nature. But if we're not qualified or we're not purified enough in our consciousness, then we may get the wrong, misunderstand all these. Because they're not of the mundane world. These are transcendentally transcends mundane sex life or mundane relationship between boy and girls. Different. We cannot equate that in terms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his social nature with the gopis. It's very high. We have to be very exemplary in our consciousness to understand these pastimes. Therefore, we're not qualified, then we should reserve, purify our consciousness. Otherwise, we'll become very critical due to our mundane, because we're so conditioned to think in terms of mundane, affairs of mundane, then we also equate that to the Supreme, which is very, very wrong. So unless we come on the transcendental platform, and that takes time, because we have to become purified, in terms of our consciousness, to understand this. So it's very important. The summum bound in Krishna is one without a second. He himself expanded himself in various parts, portions, and particles as Swayam Rupa, Swayam Prakash, Tadak Atma, Prabhava, Vibhava, Vilas, all these different terms. And thus all provide innumerable energies just suitable to the respective persons and personalities. The learned scholars and transcendental subjects have carefully analyzed the summum bound in Krishna to have 64 principal attributes. All expansions or categories of the Lord possess only some percentage of his attributes. But Sri Krishna is the possessor of the attributes 100%. And his personal expansions such as Swayam Prakash, up to the categories of the avatars, or all Vishnu Tattvas, press up to 93% of these transcendental attributes. Lord Shiva, who is neither avatar nor Havesh, no indifferent, no in between them, possesses almost 84% of the attributes. But the jivas, or individual living beings, in other words us, in different statuses of life, possess up to the limit of 78% of the attributes. In the conditioned state of material existence, the living being possesses these attributes in very minute quantities, varying in terms of the pious life of the living being. The most perfect of living beings is Brahma, the supreme administrator of one universe. He possesses 78% of the attributes in full. All other demigods have the same attributes in less quantity, whereas human beings possess the attributes in very minute quantity. The standard of perfection for a human being is to develop the attributes of up to 78% in full. The living being can never possess attributes like Shiva, Vishnu, or Lord Krishna. So if we have any ideas about that, forget it. God is always God. God doesn't become God. It can become a Brahma in due course. The godly living beings who are all residents of the planets of the spiritual sky are eternal associates of God in different spiritual planets called Haridam, Maheshdam. The abode of Lord Krishna above all spiritual planets is called Krishna Loka or Golok Vrindavan. And the perfectly living being, by developing 78% of the above attributes in fullness, can enter the planet of Krishna Loka after leaving the present material body. So that's our perfection in terms of not becoming God, but becoming on the platform of Suddha Sattva, perfect consciousness, not God. We can never become God. Our position is always, as Lord Chaitanya said, what did he say? Jivara Swarupai, Krishnara Nitya Das. Krishnara Nitya Das. That means we are eternally servants of God, of Krishna. That is our Swarup. Swarup means our constitutional, our Dharma, in other words, is to be always servant. Yes, we are always the servant of Krishna. That is our constitutional position. We are servants. Yeah. So yet this is describing the different incarnations in this chapter. Lord Nishimadev is the 14th, appeared as the 14th incarnation and bifurcated the body of the atheist Hiranyakashipu with his nails, just as a carpenter splices cane. He had his long nails, isn't it? Like chisel-like nails, and he bifurcated the body of Hiranyakashipu. And you think that's violent, isn't it? So this is another feature of God. That's Krishna and that Nishimadev. They are not different. This is Krishna's Leela. Krishna comes in, like you mentioned here, he incarnates into different avatars for the sake of creation, for the sake of Leela, coming in different pastimes also. Ras, Lord Ram, Ramachandra, Narasimhadev, like that. Varaha, Vamanadev. But these are just a few. They said that Lord's incarnations are like the waves in the ocean. It is like Brahma is describing that Ananta Rupam. Ananta Rupa means unlimited. Rupa means form. These forms they are unlimited. We cannot. Here is just a few listed. We read a few, but it is unlimited. Unlimited. So, how to understand when we say God is great? What we mean by that? How great is God? So this verse is explaining that the greatness of God is the supreme Godhead is God, and we also part and parcel. We is part and parcel. Mamai Vamso Jiva Loka Jiva Bhuta Sanatana is saying in Bhagavad Gita. That way is we are his energies also. We are his energies, part and parcel of him. Yeah. We're part and parcel. Mamai Vamsa, Amsa, again the word Amsa, where it's fragmental parts. Fragmental, Ansa means something, a portion of a portion of a portion of a portion of a portion. Anybody knows the size of the soul? The soul? Yes? Hands up. Yes?
1/10,000 tip of the hair.
Yes, 1/10,000 the tip of your hair. 1/10,000. So if you take a follicle of hair and you cut it 100 times, and you cut it a further 100 times, that is the size of the soul. But can you see your soul? Can you? No. We cannot see the soul, but nevertheless it's acting. It is acting. How is it acting in the body? How is it present in the body? Huh? Yes? Let's hear from. We don't want these all studying Bhagavad Gita. Yes? How is it? What's. Yes?
The consciousness.
Yes, consciousness is pervading from your head to your toe. That means the soul is there, present. When the soul is not there, it means the body is dead. You must have seen the body's in the coffin. It's life, isn't? There's no life, there's no lost its luster, isn't? Because the soul has left. Therefore we say something, he's gone, she's gone, isn't? That means the soul is gone. No more there. So that consciousness is no more there. So that consciousness connects to the supreme consciousness. We are Brahman. Brahman means Aham Brahmasmi. That's how I am spirit. We all say Aham Brahmasmi. I am spirit. I am Aham Brahmasmi. We are spirit. And then the Supreme Lord is called Parabrahma. He is supreme spirit. He is superior spirit. Yeah. So we cannot be equal in that sense. We are. Therefore he's saying, Mama Vamsa Jiva Loka. We are his fragmental parts. We are his fragmental parts. But due to conditioned life, he said, we become forgetful of him. And we are suffering. Karshati, he says, we are suffering in this material world. Due to forgetfulness of our relationship with God. So these pastimes help us to rekindle that. We see this wonderful Prahlad, that the boy who's from very young, is a devotee to Lord. With so much faith, he had so much faith in God, that his father practically tortured him. His father was demoniac. His father was so demoniac that he wanted this child, he sent him to school to be educated in all material affairs, how to run the kingdom, how to cheat. But Prahlad had other ideas. No, he wanted to be a devotee. He didn't want to get into that kind of, even his gurus were teaching him, they failed. They could not get to him because he had other ideas. He was influencing all his friends. Also, he tell them about the soul. He's only 5 years old, but he was so advanced spiritually that he could enlighten, and tell them. Even his own father, he was speaking philosophy with his father. And his father was just surprised. Where are you getting all this from? Where are you getting your strength from? He says, that same strength I'm getting is also in you, it's given you. So where is that person that's given you? Where is he? He's in the pillar. He's in the pillar. He's everywhere. Is he in the pillar? Yes, he's in the pillar also. And of course, Hiranyakashipu, he wanted to see if God is in the pillar. So he took his big sword and smashed that pillar, and out came this beautiful form of half man, half lion. Nara Shinga. Nara means human, half human. Human. Shing means lion. Shinga. And he sings here. Sings. Sing. The sing comes from and sing. Come sing. Yeah, singer, lion. So the Kshatriyas were like lion-like. You got the sings mostly were Kshatriyas. Shing, a lot of shing. Yeah. So interesting that these demons come. So why the Lord comes to the material world? Why does he come to the material world? There's interesting in Bhagavad Gita, I'm sure you're familiar with these verses. Chapter 4, text 7 and 8. Yada yada idharvasya glanir bhavati bharat. Whenever and whenever he says there's a rise in irreligion.
Dharma declines.
Yeah. And that time I come. Sambhavami yuge yuge. Again, yuge yuge. In different millenniums he comes. What he comes for, what is his purpose? Parichanaya sadhanam. Vinasaya chaduskritam. Parichanaya sadhanam. I come to protect my devotees. I come to protect my devotees. Vinasaya chaduskritam. And to annihilate the miscreants. So he comes to fight with demons and kill demons who are giving trouble to like the demigods, also by his devotees. The suras, and there's asuras. Suras and throughout history they've always been at war, at loggerheads. And the Lord is to come to intervene, to protect. He favors more the suras, the demigods, because the demigods are favorable, whereas the demons, they are envious of God. So he comes for that purpose. But more than anything, he comes to give pleasure to his devotees by performing wonderful pastimes. And we read in Krishna book all his wonderful leela, isn't it? From the time of his appearing, isn't it? And growing up in Braj, all wonderful fighting demons. Kamsa was sending so many demons. Kamsa wanted, because the eighth child, he knew the eighth child of Devaki was going to kill him. But the eighth child somehow escaped from the prison in Mathura and was taken to Gokul in Braj. That's what, by his foster parents, Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj, who were keeping cows. They were cowherds. So Krishna grew up in that Vaishya community in his childhood. Yes. In that childhood, he performed so many wonderful. But it's to think that same Krishna, that beautiful baby, is that same form, that hideous form there, that's killing demons in that. Can we equate that? Same, when God gets angry. So this is out. He says only the devotees can understand that. Only devotees, the devotees of the Lord, who want to hear these pastimes over and over and over, and not get, like in Monday, Monday we go see movies, we read books on Monday, then we don't want to see it again, isn't it? We done, we read it, we don't want to see stale news. But you read Bhagavatam, you read Bhagavad Gita, you hear this, you want to hear it, isn't it? All the time. All the time he's kind of churning the nectar, because it's coming from the mouth of great personalities. Sukadeva Goswami spoke this Bhagavatam. Sukha means parrot. So when a parrot bites a fruit, the taste becomes more enhanced. When the parrot bites into a fruit, the taste becomes more tastier. So when the words came from, it was like Hamula Puran, Bhagavatam is described by that as the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge. Amla Purana. And this is why, I mean, it is very, very purifying. It purifies us. It takes us from our mundane drudgery of, mundane life. Nasta prayasya patreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Nityam bhagavata, if we regularly hear this katha, it says all that is troublesome to the heart, they gradually dissipate, and one begins to render loving devotional service. And we all yearning for that. We want that kind of happiness. But the material world is eluding us. It's like sukha dukkha. There's happiness, there's distress. There's the mundane platform. It is very, very we cannot escape that. But when we transcend that means it means a change of our consciousness. That's what it means. A change of a shift of consciousness. You don't have to go and sit in one, like a yogi in a yogic position to become transcendental, no. Or go and stay in a temple to be no, you can just matter of changing the consciousness. You follow? Matter of changing the consciousness, that's all. Therefore, this process of this Hare Krishna movement by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the modern who appeared, you see pictures of him, is the incarnation who appeared just over 500 years ago. And that's also in Bhagavatam. Lord Chaitanya's appearance is also mentioned here. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sango Pangasta Pasadam Jagnai Sankitan Prayaya Janti Subedasaha. He's saying in this age of Kali, this is Kali Yuga, right? We are all aware of that. In this age of Kali, he says, very intelligent persons, Sumedasa, not just intelligent, Sume, very intelligent. What will they do? They will worship that incarnation who constantly chants the name of Krishna. Krishna Varnayati. And he's our Krishna. It's not, Krishna is described as blackish, bluish. Isn't it? We see Krishna is always portrayed in a darkish, greyish color. But Lord Chaitanya is our Krishna. He's not blackish. He is Gaura. What is Gaura? Golden, yeah, Gaura. He's golden color. His color of gold, molten gold. It says, and he doesn't carry weapons like these other incarnations here. Lord Nrsimhadev, his weapons were this, like, his chisel like nails he was carrying. Ram came with bow and arrow, isn't it? Lord Parashuram with his big axe. Lord Chaitanya, what was his weapon? What was his astra? His beauty is super excellent. Just by his beauty, people were attracted to him. Astra, Pangastra. Just by his beauty, people were attracted to him. Of course, the Supreme Person of Godhead comes with so much potency and purity. That's also a very attractive feature of Godhead. That God is the purest, isn't he? He's the purest. And just by him being pure, he can purify us. Sometimes they compare it to the sun. The sun shines on dirty places. Where there's urine and stool. Does the sun get affected by that? No. On the contrary, it purifies. Isn't just by his rays It purifies dirty places. So the pure devotee or the Lord or the representatives of, they also have that same potency of purifying just by the association. So Prahlad, he is a devotee, although he comes from a demon family. He is described as the son of a Daitya. Daitya means demon. He comes from a demon family. But he is a devotee. So now we see also devotees come from different families, and sometimes it's very challenging, isn't it? Sometimes the children want to be devotees and the parents are against it, or the wife wants to be devotee and the husband against it. Isn't this challenge? But it's all tests for us. Krishna tests us to see our faith. Yeah, and somehow we have to persevere. Krishna will help as long as we are 100% genuine and serious about going back home, back to Godhead, or giving up this material world, or surrendering to Krishna. But that's the goal of human life, is to come to that ultimate of surrendering to Krishna. The Vedas, Veda means knowledge. Veda means knowledge. Vedahanta means at the end of studying all the Vedas, what you do? It says you must Ante Narayana Smriti. Ante, at the end we must remember who? Narayan, Krishna, Vishnu. They're all the same personalities. That's the goal of Vedic. And in Bhagavad Gita, what is Krishna saying? At the end, it's concluding, Sarva Dharma Parijacha Mamakam. We have to surrender to Him. That's the goal of studying. We can read Bhagavad Gita. Oh, I read it. We try to sell these books. I know Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, but what you know? What is the goal of this Bhagavad Gita? Krishna wants us to surrender. Because Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita. It's not just some mundane. This is aparosaya. It is beyond human understanding. Isn't it? It doesn't come under some contaminated or under the modes of nature. No. It's free from all that. Aparosaya. Therefore, it has that potency to attract us and purify us. Every verse we read from Bhagavad Gita, or Bhagavatam, or any revealed scripture, that's has the ability to purify us. Even if we don't understand it, if you don't make head and tail of it, just hearing it, it purifies the consciousness. Somehow it will purify us. Just being in that association. We're associating with Bhagavatam now. But you may not realize what you're actually doing. You may not. Some of you may, some may not. But over time, if you constantly get a taste for hearing Bhagavatam, Nasta Praya but Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. All that is troublesome will gradually dissipate, and you get a taste. You'll want to hear or relish Bhagavatam all the time. Nityam. Nityam means regularly. Regularly. Like we read Bhagavatam, we staying in the temple, Prabhupada, his institution, he said, Bhagavatam class is a must every morning. And the evening Bhagavad Gita. So you call it a sandwich program. Hearing Bhagavatam in the morning, reading Bhagavad Gita at night. A sandwich program. So we always stay in Krishna conscious like that. When we go to bed, read Krishna book, read Bhagavad Gita, and you have nice dreams. No nightmare dreams. It's true. Yeah. So we got to get a taste for this, because we're so much saturated with, isn't it? It's all our upbringing, the way we like indoctrinated into the Western kind of culture, education. It all drives us away more from what we meant to be. Well, materially that's good for you, but how far does material take you? How far? You also get, at a certain age you have to retire from all these things. Then you get bodies, you buy 20 cigarettes and you smoke one after one. Or you buy a fishing rod and just to kill time. Then you retire. That is retirement. Is it? No. We should save all that time. How we will leave this body. That's your test. That's our biggest exam. How we will live, in what consciousness, that will depend on your next, whether you're going to come back or stay or don't come back. If you have experience, if you have realization that this material world is dukkhalayam. What is dukkhalayam? Miserable and ashashvata, temporary. It's very temporary. How is it temporary? We live 60, 70 years, that's our lifetime. But in terms of time, time is relative in different, like the time of the demigods is, other day I was speaking about that. What did I say? 1 day is equal to 6 months. 1 day of the demigods is 6 months, our 6 months. So you can imagine that. And this Hiranyakashipu performed austerities for 100 heavenly years. This amounts to like 36,000 years he was performing tapasya. That's how he became so powerful. 36,000 years. But his tapasya was not conducive, although it was for to realize his goals, to become very powerful, to defeat all the demigods, to take over all the planets, to kill God. He had that also. He wanted to do away with God. There's no God. Because, so all that austerities to become, he wanted to become immortal. So these are all like kind of demoniac. 16th chapter Bhagavad Gita describes this divine and the demoniac, and the nature demoniac person. Ishwaraham aham bhogi. What is that? Ishwaraham aham bhogi. I am powerful, I am happy, isn't it? I have everything. That's demon, that's the mentality of the demons. Powerful, happy. I am the enjoyer. Therefore the Lord has to come to teach even the greatest demons. Ravan, isn't it? Ravan was a big demon. I mean, although Ravan was described as very, very intelligent. He knew Sanskrit, he knew the Vedas, he knew all the mantras. The demigods would come to consult with him because he was so intelligent. But what was all that intelligence was? Just to become a lusty, envious of God. So in the end he had to be killed, to kill all that demoniac desires. So Nishingadev comes, we pray. We may all harbor all these things: envy, lust, greed, anger. So we can pray to remove. Because that's what he comes for. That's what he did to take out all that. Because all that is stored in the heart. Therefore, the killing of Yanik was the first open heart in the world, in the history of this world. It's not new. Open heart surgery, bifurcated and took out his heart. There's all this, the dirt in the heart that has to be cleansed. He pulled the heart and he threw it on the floor. Dead. So we pray. Therefore, on the special one, we can pray because we all are heartbreaking. All of us, with some envy and isn't some degree of envy is there, or some traces of greed, lust, anger. We all are carrying it because the modes are so strong. The gunas, we come under the modes of nature. Daivi Shadgunama, he says, the modes of are very, very strong. The modes, they control every aspect of our life. Therefore, we have to become free from it. And Krishna is telling Arjuna, rise above the modes. Rise above the modes. So likewise, Arjuna is representing us. Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, but to a greater audience. Arjuna is like the, what we call him, anyway, Arjuna is a pure devotee. He's a friend. Why will Krishna speak Bhagavad Gita to him? Because he's a friend. He's not envious. Krishna is saying, I'm speaking to you because you are my friend and you're non-envious. Therefore, I feel obliged to speak some transcendental knowledge, some secret. Guyam. Guyam akyati prichati. Some confidential knowledge. Now, who will you speak? Will you confide in a friend or some stranger? Somebody you know, isn't you close to? Therefore, Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. But Krishna had to put him in a dilemma to act like a conditioned soul. Some yoga mind is playing. So that Arjuna could act and ask all these wonderful. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is asking very pertinent questions. And Krishna is the spiritual, Krishna is taking the role of guru, of spiritual master, and answering all the questions, same time giving very eloquent, sustained answers. Arjuna, and just to convince Arjuna, Krishna to make Arjuna angry. He spoke Bhagavad to agitate him, to make him fight. Because Arjuna, that's his duty, he's a Kshatriya, he must fight. But then he must add some weaknesses, some dosha, weaknesses. What was his weakness? Attachment to family, attachment to his blood relatives, blood kinsmen. At the same time also, it's too much attachment can be very painful, isn't it? When we have to part. Right? You see, at the time of separation, it's very painful. It is very painful. Therefore, we always have to transcend all these mundane relationships. Not that we don't love our children. No, we love them, but same time in a detached way. Because they will grow, they will have their own lives anyway. No matter how much you love them, they're going to, isn't your boys going to get married one day and have their own lives, isn't it? All children. So Krishna, always be attached to Krishna. Krishna will never leave us. Yeah, Krishna will never fail us also. So thank you very much. If I went over the time. We'll take some questions.